Hi, Lori Ingham, your Franklin Anime Examiner here. I promised to, I know it's been a while since I've talked about this, because I think in my last one I said I was going to do one on Danganronpa at some point, and sorry, life got in the way. Um, just to let you know, if you're not aware, because I think it might be in my description, but I'm not sure. I currently work as a special ed paraprofessional in Squam School District. I work at Southwick School, which is elementary 3 to 5 school, and I work with, I am school's year just started, so I'm getting to know the two kids that I'm working with for this year, and so it's been a busy and crazy week, so I barely had enough time to even watch the animes I needed to watch. So, excuse me. So, barely had enough time for that, and anyway, I promised a vlog on Danganronpa, and I will do one on Danganronpa. If you are unaware of the cartoon, the anime, Danganronpa is based on a visual novel mystery game, where the plot is this mysterious teddy bear. It has declared himself the headmaster of this school, and has told the students that are now trapped in this school that the only way they can graduate is to kill somebody and get away with it. And if they're able to get away with it, then they can go free and everybody else gets killed. If they don't get away with it, if he doesn't get away with it, then he gets punished. In nasty, nasty ways. So, I think what I wanted to talk about in this particular series is the things that I like about the show and some things that are kind of annoying me on the animation part of it. One of the things, I really like the show. I really like the plot. It really moves really fast. It kind of has to. If you're going to compare it to the game, because I've watched the walkthrough, so I actually know what's going to happen. But I've watched the walkthroughs online, and if they were to go at the same pace as the walkthroughs, this show would be like a long-running series, like Bleach or something like that, and just be dragged out and dragged out and dragged out. So they're so thankful for the condensing of the series. And the show, and I like the mystery, I like the writing, it's a good show, because they managed to put things in there that aren't in the game. Like in one episode, they actually had a running joke about one of the characters, Togami, being told by other characters that he's just a supporting player in the whole thing, and his insistence that he's not. So that was a good running joke throughout that episode. It has some really very, very interesting characters. Probably my favorite is Fukawa, the writer of the group, who also has the alter ego, split personality of Genocider Show, serial killer, and I like her character. I think partially because I don't know whether it's because of the split personality. It's just an interesting thing to put in there. And so you wonder if she's going to end. Oh, it seems a little too obvious, but you start to wonder if she's going to be one of the ones that kills somebody, or if or she's actually going to get away with leaving the school on her own. And there's a lot of interesting things about the show. It's pretty well animated. It is pretty well animated for the most part, with the combination of CGI and normal animation. And the characters are interesting. They all have their own little quirks, and like a lot of big quirks. So they get away with a lot for doing the show. Probably one of the things that annoys me about the show is the reliance on some of the video game contrivances from the game. For example, anytime that the Naegi, the lead character among this cast of characters, anytime the lead says contradiction against somebody, it's the same animation from the game. Actually, a lot of times when they have the game is set up, shouldn't say the game. This is how confusing it can be if you've never watched the game. A lot of this stuff can be really, a lot of the stuff they do in the show as far as the animation goes can get really confusing if you don't know that they're basing it off of a game. But if you look at all the trial episodes, because it starts off with an introduction episode, then you go from the next episode where somebody's gonna get killed, then the next episode after that is the trial, and then it goes that way. The person gets killed, the next episode's the trial. The person gets killed, the next episode, trial. There's a pattern to it. But anytime they have the trial episodes, a lot of it they take from the video game as far as the animation and the animation, and even some of the things from the game itself, like the trial bullets that they have on the side. That's from the game. For somebody who's not familiar with the game, that can get a little confusing because I was watching it, when I first started watching it, I'm like, what are they doing here? And then when I started looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is from the game. But as far, it's an interesting series, even though I know what's going to happen because I've watched all the walkthroughs on the game, because I actually got caught into watching the walkthroughs. But even though I know what's going to happen, I think my interest in the series at this point is how are they going to condense it? Because a typical trial, if you were to play it through, can last probably about an hour, hour and a half. In just the trial, when you get to the trial section of the game. And they have to condense that whole thing down into a half hour. And they managed to do it pretty good. They just kind of stick to the facts, so those episodes tend to move much faster than the previous episode. Even though the previous episode moves pretty fast too. But, so it has this good, nice pace to it. But overall, it's a good show. If you can ignore the little conveniences where they carried over from the video game, it's a good show to watch. I like watching it every week. It's one of those shows that I've got caught up with watching every week. I think once the runs are over for Brothers Conflict and Danganronpa, I'll probably do an overall review of both in one video. And primarily because those are the two that I've been doing recaps for examiners. So I figure if I could do brief recaps on there and then do a video log of my thoughts on them, and that would be a good. I'm starting to think I should do a video response on the last episode of most recent episode of Brothers Conflict, because that one was like, oh my god, I was shaking my head. So I may end up doing one on that one soon. But and I don't know why I know why I watch the show. It's because I'm trying to do these recaps and just so I can have something for you guys to read on Examiner. But it's becoming one of those shows that I'm kind of shaking my head and like, oh no, Japan, why are you so crazy? So my recommendation: watch Danganronpa, and it's a good show if you can ignore the little things from the video game that they decided to throw in there and confuse those who've never watched the video game. So that's that's this week, and next week we will, or I may do another one this weekend. I don't know yet, but so for now, Frankly Anime Examiner, Lori Ingham here, and I will see you another time.